What's up everybody, today we're taking a look at the new pre-patch in World of Warcraft. If you've been sleeping under a rock, haven't played for a while, or you're overall confused as to what the heck is happening, then this will clear it all up for you. So for everyone who has been playing up till now, know that our artifact weapons have been seriously pimped out lately, growing in power with each day. But no more, our weapons have now been infused with way too much power and they've broken down. And what this means is that all our artifact powers and traits are gone. You can still have them equipped and you can still add relics to improve the item level, but all your powers are gone. However, some of these powers or traits have been added into your spells or talents, and a few will show up in Battle for Azeroth in the new Azeroth trait system. On top of this, every class and specialization have been updated for Battle for Azeroth. Most noticeable is the changes to our global cooldown. Previously, you've been able to chain certain spells or cooldowns like popping Battle Cry and Raging Blow at the same time. Whereas now a lot of those spells have been added to the global cooldown. So now you press your cooldown, you wait for a little bit, and then you're able to cast your next spell, overall slowing down the pace of some specs. And I know a lot of people are upset about this or raging over this, but it really isn't as bad as it sounds. Sure, I'd rather not have it, but it is what it is, and it's not the end of the world. Tanking overall going into BFA has been changed quite a bit, not only due to the GCD changes, but they've also had their mitigation changed quite a bit. It's now more armor based instead of pure damage reduction, meaning that their mitigation works well against physical attacks but less so against magic. A lot of magic damage reductions have been completely removed like Empower Wards or significantly nerfed like Spell Reflect or Anti-Magic Shell. They've also made most of their mitigations scale with their primary stats, so having more strength as a protection paladin means you get more armor whenever you use Shield of the Righteous. And apart from this, they're bringing back Fret as an actual mechanic again, so tanks have had their Fret generation reduced by 80%, which is roughly around the same amount of Fret they did during Skittish Week in Mythic Plus. So if you expect to charge into a big pack, pop, thunderclap, and have aggro and everything, you're in for a surprise. Back to target swapping, making sure you got a nice amount of Fret on everything, and keep your finger over that taunt button. And a lot of things have been added to the GCD for tanks as well. Lots of defensive cooldowns and even some spells like Ignore Pain and Paladin Self-Heal Light of the Protector. Damage classes and specs have seen some changes as well. Melee DPS have had how their damage done works changed a bit, so that they scale more linear across the board with gear, meaning that for example getting a weapon upgrade won't be an absolute insane upgrade for some classes, but kinda meh for other classes. It's just linear across the board. On top of this, you will notice your auto attack damage will be a lot higher now than it used to be. Other than that, dots ticks more often with haste while their duration stays the same. And every single class have had either a complete overhaul or lots of tweaking going into BFA. If you haven't checked out what they've done to your favorite class or specs, you can check out some of my other videos where I covered class changes in BFA. But the specs which have gotten the biggest overhaul is Demonology Warlocks, Fury and Arms Warrior, and the Survival Hunter. They've also reworked some ratios. Arcane Torrent is no longer an AoE silence, it's now a mass purge, if you will. Pop it, you get resources like energy or rage, and you remove beneficial effects from each target hit. Berserking increases your haste by 15%, and the human racial has a longer cooldown, just to mention a few. And the Statsquish is here again, about frickin' time. Let's see how long this one lasts before it gets out of hand again. This really doesn't make a lick of difference. If you did 10% of the overall damage on a boss, you'll still do 10% of the overall damage. It just won't say 480 billion, it'll say something in line with 4.8 thousand instead. Which to me is pretty nice. It just feels a bit weird doing millions upon millions in damage. Sure, some people might like that. Personally, I find it a bit annoying, so glad to see the Statsquish again. Same thing with item level really. Instead of like 980, you'll have around 260. Your relative power is the same, it just looks slower. And there will also be some new content released during this pre-patch. So you'll be able to experience the escalating all-out war in Teldrassil and later Lordran. From what I can understand, it's going to be released piece by piece every week leading up to the launch of Battle for Azeroth, so a little bit more in the saga of World of Warcraft. So yeah, a prelude to the all-out war in Battle for Azeroth. And a few new features to races have been added on top of all overall visuals of most races being updated. A new posture option available to all Orcs where they stand upright instead of hunched over. And Blood Elves now have access to golden eyes as well as a few new faces. And all of these new options are available at your local barbershop. On top of this, you can now also alter your character's skin color while you're there. The PvP Honor and Prestige system has been updated and PvP talents have been revamped a bit as well. And you can now enable the new War Mode. So War Mode enables you for World PvP because there are no longer any PvP servers. However, if you enable War Mode, you can now fight other people with War Mode enabled out in the world. So if you want to grind or level or do stuff without being interrupted with the opposing faction stabbing you in the back, don't enable War Mode. But if you want to, go for it. And doing so will give you some bonuses. So you'll gain an additional bonus to experience while leveling, you'll earn additional bonus gold and resource from World Quest, and some additional War Mode features such as bounty hunters and airdrops will become available in the new zones in Battle for Azeroth. On top of this, Strand of the Ancient and Ashran are no longer available, they're gone. And communities are here. You can now create and join cross-realm social groups in World of Warcraft called communities. So essentially what it is an extra guild chat. The people who are in your community are able to chat with each other regardless of server. So for people who migrate to other servers but still want to be able to keep in touch with their old guild or friends, this will come in handy. And with this, the revamped voice chat is available in all groups, guilds, and communities. You simply select the headset icon whenever you see it in-game to talk with other players who are in there. And I tried this out on the BFA beta bit, and I gotta say it worked really well compared to the first time it was released. It was actually really good this time around. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Battle for Azeroth pre-patch 8.0. What are the things you're most excited about or the things you're most sad to see go? Let me know in the comments below, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And I hope this cleared up any questions you had about the pre-patch. But if you still have questions left, make sure to hit me up in the comments below. I try to answer any and all questions as well as I can. And as always, if you like these kind of videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, and hit that notification bell and switch it to all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.